So let me just start off by asking you, and maybe we can brainstorm right before we start the discussion. When you're talking with your friends outside of school, what kind of interactions are happening? You are communicating, socializing, agreeing, right?
Yeah.
Disagreeing.
Yeah. Arguing.
And when these two are happening, you're agreeing and disagreeing, you come to a
stance.
Yeah, and sometimes you compromise, yeah. So that's really what we're going to do here. I know I gave you the handout a couple of nights ago to take home and maybe just go over it. Because what is the controversial topic we're talking about here?
Should tablets replace textbooks in K-12 schools?
Jocelyn, what was your initial feeling about that question when you just heard we were going to talk about that? What was your initial stance?
It was hard until I thought, like, because at first I thought it was both, but then, like, I just went with the con.
Okay, we'll get to it. So what I want you to do actually first is, you can see that continuum there. The two extremes are strongly agree, strongly disagree. Just go and put your initials there. Just one at a time, come up here
Agree
and see where you fall. Yeah, just put your initial under. You can come up, Jocelyn. Because maybe at the end something else will happen, right? We start somewhere, and when we're discussing things with our friends, we come to probably another viewpoint. Come up, Brenda. Right? Okay. So although we do have a small group, but you representing different viewpoints here, whether it was your initial before reading or before hearing about it. A couple of ground rules which I wanted to say was just we're going to be respectful and we want to listen and then let each other kind of formulate what we want to say. So just a few things. Jocelyn, is that where you started off from?
Okay, yeah, that's what I said.
So initially you were saying initially,
Yes.
okay, and now you believe?
Okay, can I change mine? I'm sorry.
You want to change? Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Go ahead. So we're still not sure. I can tell you that I too had strong feelings about that. And where do you think this question started from? And how long ago?
I'd say probably last year.
Last year? What happened last year?
Is this pertaining to LAUSD?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of schools separated from LAUSD because they didn't like the way they were teaching the curriculum and the whole wage situation, correct?
Yeah. And the whole wage?
Yeah, well, weren't
Okay. The budget?
Oh, the budget, not wage. Yeah, the budget, because LAUSD didn't have the budget to supply technology that the students wanted.
Okay. So there's the budget issue.
We spend more than 8 billion.
More than 8 billion on?
Per year on textbooks.
On textbooks. Okay, so 8 billion on textbooks. And what was going to be different about this? Less or more on the tablets? They were going to spend less?
Less a year.
Well,
Let's hear it. Sarah?
It says a school of 1,000 2,000 students average 250,000 pieces of paper a year, and they spend between $3,000 and $4,000 a month on paper, ink, and toner.
So it's going to be
Less.
less just by using the tablets. So this is the pro or the con arguments as far as pro, yeah? So less on tablets. So this is a pro. Is this something that we would go for? Yeah? But you had put your name. Why do you believe
I
the
have
way?
a lot of personal reasons why I would disagree with the whole tablet
Mm-hmm.
idea. Is, well, personally, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I have tons of arguments and counter arguments as to why tablets would be good and why they would be bad. But personally, I like books because I like the feel of the paper and the way they smell when you first open them, and it's just like I've always liked books.
Just the feel of the books. I would go for that too. How about you, Brenda? Where do you stand?
I believe that tablets more easy. We don't waste paper. Trees don't get cut down. You know how many paper we would save if we just everyone had
Well,
a
for that,
tablet?
yeah.
That was also my counter argument towards the books. Like,
Did you read anything in there, Brenda, that led you to?
No, from the beginning, even before reading it, I was agree with tablets over
Oh.
books.
And Sarah, how did you get to there? Because yours is quite extreme when you're saying you're strongly
Yeah,
agree.
before I read it, I always kind of agreed with tablets over books. And then I kind of read it and I was kind of controversial about it. And then I compared the two and I think it would be better for tablets. But
Did one of the points that you read there kind of made it more stronger?
not really, just seeing how much tablets save schools and seeing how they help students, help them learn faster.
I kind of feel like it's all about the waste of paper and the yeah.
That's more of the thing I disagree with is that you're wasting a lot of paper with books, and also, but the thing my counter argument towards tablets is that people oftentimes will download applications onto their tablets and in class still waste time playing games and lose focus, and they don't really pay attention to the curriculum they're going over. Like, my friend goes to a private school right now, and they give them laptops to do all their work on, and he spends like half the time watching movies and playing games, and yeah.
Nelson, you were saying something.
Oh yeah, but even if they're less money, they're associated with a lot of health problems like vision and stuff.
Yeah, that was one of the con arguments, right?
Yeah, vision.
We don't know about it much, but go ahead.
It causes eye strain, headaches, blurred vision, and dry eyes.
And probably a lot of you go through that too.
And another thing is like the cost of the tablets themselves are probably relatively expensive. So you spend most of their budget 1 year on the tablets, and
How about if it breaks down?
yeah, that's the thing. Like they don't. You don't know how long its lifespan is going to be, especially in the hands of a bunch of teenagers who are very clumsy oftentimes. And the likelihood of you dropping it and breaking it, I mean, you'd probably have to pay for some sort of insurance or
That too.
some sort of policy that covers your whole school-wide tablets.
It's been a few months in the newspapers. Have you come across the arguments and the pro and con in the newspapers or on TV?
I think I've seen it once.
There was, okay.
On TV more so, yeah.
Especially if you turn to the letters that were written to the LA Times, just protesting. A lot of them were protests when LAUSD doesn't have enough money for paper towels, and they went on about it, spent that much money when we didn't know who we were issuing them to. The breaking, how about the socialization part?
Yeah, that's
Is
another
that-
thing. It reduces communication amongst people.
Brenda, what do you think about that when I say socializing with the student next to you? While you have the tablets going.
Because you guys are we're
You're
gonna be
just-
stuck on that tablet.
Going to be focused, so
Yeah,
communication, there's none there.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be distracted with the tablet.
I feel like if
Do you
they
have-
gave out tablets to kids, they wouldn't just give it to them without any protection or anything. I feel like they would block certain things and not let you download games and stuff like that.
Well, remember, a lot of kids are tech savvy, so they have already broken into how to, I don't know the wording for it.
Get
Yeah,
around
they
the,
get-
get
they
around
get in
those
trouble.
laws.
The, mm-hmm. So that's happened already.
Kids are broken through the firewalls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh jeez.
So if I say, what is your primary reason for thinking that, yes, I'm all for this? What's the primary reasoning?
I think I just have more than one reason. Other than like the waste and stuff, there's statistics and stuff that say that tablets help students learn faster, 30 to 80% quicker than regular textbooks. On tablets you can do your homework, you can do quizzes, things like that, and that's not available out of just regular textbooks.
Who's telling us that though? Could it be,
Some of it says like the Board of Education or
Mhm.
Public Broadcasting.
okay.
It's not all just one.
So these are still statistics that we really don't know. I mean, they just launched it. Jocelyn, how did you get, based on what evidence that you read, other than the
health
waste?
problems, and you know when they're doing their homework, they could get distracted and like go do something else because you know like tablets sometimes have like Wi-Fi and
Mhm.
internet, and they could like go and download games or go on Facebook or social networks and stuff.
They send you elsewhere, right? You
Yeah.
see something and
Yeah.
you're curious.
Yeah.
How about you, Brenda?
I still agree that we should have it. I mean, one, we save paper. Second, we don't have to carry those tons of books. And then, like, if you get connected, we could just send you our work through, like, just email you our
Email
work.
it to this teacher?
Yeah, more simple.
Wouldn't you be losing a little FaceTime with the teacher though? As far as,
What happens if it's, like, at night and you need to send your homework? If it's in the daytime, then you can send it, but at night or something, you can ask for help. I still agree.
yeah. And
Oh.
are you,
I honestly think that you know, tablets are a great idea, you know, for doing your work. But I think with it, you know, kids should still have their textbooks so that they can look at them and refer to them, and like get that more hands-on experience and through a technological device. I don't know. Personally, I like books more, and like it's like history to me. And if you replace all books with tablets, it's like there goes a big piece of history in itself.
that is, I think that is one of my main issues, but that's the way it's going. One of the points here was about the students reading more, or just people in general reading more books, or novels and such, more than, so what's going to happen to the bookstores, Barnes and Noble, and
Well, places will go out of business.
a lot of them have already, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at this, like if you look at the whole thing, there's like more cons than there is pros.
Oh. Okay. I didn't see that, but 15 to 17?
Yeah.
I guess so.